Hey guys, Iceluslol here, and today we're bringing you a Jinx game, and this is Aelyos on Silver 1 LO, and it's an EU West game. So for bot lane, we've got Jinx and Leona versus Ezreal Blitz. Interesting lane. Basically, Leona pretty much counters Blitzcrank in a sense that if Blitz pulls her, Leona's tankier and will actually do more damage, and she basically gets a free gap close. So it's not a particularly super good matchup for Blitz, and the Blitz basically has to really outplay the situation. Ezreal can't really pressure Jinx or outpush her early, as you can see. So this is like a good chance. Oh, you got pulled. Okay. It's a really good basically chance for Jinx to free farm as the Jinx player that we're watching the replay from. So he got pulled there though, and there's no flash, so that's something you have to be really careful about. You always want to try to stay behind minions. I think you just got a little excited because that was close. You pushed them out and you got level 2 first, which is good, but you got to be really careful. You don't want to give Blitzcrank free grabs. So this Blitzcrank player already seems pretty good. So watch out for that. But basically, okay, see like Blitzcrank got a pull, but Leona just kind of went on Ezreal. You could have ran up to Ezreal a little bit faster and reacted to that. And you popped the sunlight, but you still could have got more free damage on Ezreal. I would have liked to see you react a little bit faster when Leona got pulled, because Leona's not going to die. It's just a matter of you got to follow up. Now that she's level 3, she has her W, I'm assuming, yeah. So now, basically, like when Blitz pulls her, it's going to be almost impossible for them to out-damage her in like a 2v2. Now you have no flash though, so I would immediately have popped heal right here and just ran away. So it looks like this is actually going to work out really well. Okay, you saved your heal, nice. That worked great because they all clumped up and you were able to get rockets on all 3 of them. Blitz pulled Leona, but he only pulled her like 3 feet, so it didn't matter really. I would say watch out maybe for mystic shots. I think you've only taken a couple, but I mean, as Jinx, you really shouldn't be taking any. There's no reason for you to basically leave the minion wave, because when you leave the minion wave, you risk getting hit with Blitzcrank hook or mystic shot. So there's no incentive to pretty much leave the minion wave. And you only have 525 range anyway in Pow Pow form, so that's just a small thing I would point out. Speed this up a little bit. Trying to get some harass on Ezreal, I like that. You're pushed up, okay. Oh good, okay, that was actually really nice. You were not in range to follow up on that with a Fishbones rocket, but you did pop her sunlight charge with a zap. So that was actually pretty good. I like that you're warding right here, but Shyvana's here, so yeah. You warded, but Shyvana runs so fast that you were still a little bit too far up with no flash. So I would just say, like, Blitzcrank runs so fast. If you push up on Blitzcrank, you gotta be really careful. And having no flash, I mean, she probably knows that. Blitz told Shyvana, like, hey, Jinx has no flash, so you knew she was probably gonna be back. And it sucks they ganked you twice, but it's gonna happen when you're Jinx, and especially when you have no flash and they have a Blitzcrank. Junglers know that Blitzcrank has a lot of playmaking potential, especially for running people down. And you being Jinx with no escapes, it's just a prime opportunity for them, so you have to watch out for that. So your skill build is perfect. Your itemization so far is really good. Shyvana's coming down here again. I think you can just run away from this though. Yeah. So you got Shyvana ult out of that one. You had to burn your heal. At least you have flash. So, oh yeah, his brush is not warded. So one thing you have to think about the brush is like, if you can't see them and they're in this brush somewhere, like you have to assume that they're just like, he's gonna try to hook you, right? So that means since you don't have vision in this brush right now, like when you were walking up, you needed to stay like all the way back here and let Leona face check that, not you. So now you have no flash, and now I'm sure Blitzcrank told Shyvana that, and now I anticipate Shyvana coming back down bot again when she has her ultimate. So that's something you really got to watch out for. Okay, Blitz is getting a little bit aggressive here, but they have heal and they're going to go for it, but I think you got it. Nice. Now you've got your minigun on. Okay, so yeah, that just kind of sucked. I would have said like stand in minions and try to fight him, but I don't think it really mattered because you were so low. So that's the problem with like going on Blitzcrank, and you had no summoners, and they had a heal. The heal kept them alive for a really, really long time, so kind of sucks. Ezreal picked up a double kill, but at least Katarina killed him, and you got pulled again. Yeah, that Ezreal ult is I mean, he basically does what Jinx does. He can fire the global ult and pick you off from across the map, so something to look out for. Like Warwick is just soloing the dragon. This is patch 420, so that's gonna happen. So you've got a pickaxe to Ezreal's Sheen and Phage. You have a BF sword right now? You do. Okay, you're in great shape. You've got a BF sword and a pickaxe to Ezreal's 2 Triforce components, but he's got a long sword now. I don't know what he's building. Anyway, so I like that you're playing safe without Leona. Leona's not here right now, and now you can push up because she's back. We have a Leona ult. She hasn't been 6 for very long. I think she's only ulted 1 time. So Leona ult is about to be back up. That's really good. Shyvana's probably going to come down here though, but you have both summoners now. So I anticipate if Shyvana does come down here, you can probably make a play. They don't seem like they separate very much, and there's a lot of opportunities for you to use your rockets. Not a great placement for your traps. I would have placed him a little bit farther up because he was never in danger of walking on them, really. Leona's kind of low. It doesn't really matter. She's so tanky, and she can deal so much damage that it doesn't really concern me. Gotta watch out for Mystic Shots now, especially because he has Sheen. So Mystic Shot activate or triggers and consumes the Sheen ability. So like these Mystic Shots are gonna do a lot of damage now. I like your positioning here. You're staying near the minion wave, you're staying near Leona, and you're staying out of Blitzcrank's range. So he basically has no options to really go on you. Oh, that was really good. Wow, nice. Oh, okay. So you fired your ult a little bit down too far. You got the flash out of them, but your ult pretty much wasn't going to land anyway. Okay. Warwick's definitely stepped up early enough to give you time there, where you didn't have to flash. I mean, obviously now you know that, but looking back, like, you know Ezreal doesn't have ult, so like, he used Arcane Shift and Mystic Shot at that point, so all of his stuff was down. You pretty much can't die at that point, so, you know, if your teammates step up to block a skill shot for you, and the enemies don't have any other way of killing you because their other abilities are on cooldown, you got to realize that and, you know, trust your teammates. Like, he basically walked up and pressed S, so, like, Warwick gave you a good window there, but just look for that in the future. We got pulled again. Yeah. Gotta respect the blitz. And I know you couldn't see him there, but you have to still... It's just like him being in the brush, him being in the dragon pit, you can't see him. You gotta... Oh wait, you could see him because you had a pink ward. Okay, well anyway. Point is just... He's off the map or not visible, just picture the worst possible place he could be, and then create space outside of that point. Because that's probably where he is. So... Warwick's coming down, you're trying to follow up on Warwick, he's going. But you're kind of far away, but it doesn't matter because it's patch 420 and it's Warwick. You're just pushing this in with Ezreal dead, you can take this tower pretty much 100%, yeah. Jinx is amazing at taking towers. Anytime that someone dies and there's a small window where you can even solo a tower like that on Jinx, you have to go for it because you just take down towers so fast. Let's talk about your item build real quick though. I don't like that you built Berserker Greaves before you finished Infinity Edge. I don't like that at all. Because the reason you build Berserker Greaves before Infinity Edge is, number one, not the default, but number two, like the actual methodology behind it is if you're against a lane that's super high mobility and you need the mobility to counter them, and while Blitz has mobility, Blitz's mobility is absurd. So like having boots is not gonna do anything. Like he's still gonna run you down. like Overdrive is an extremely high amount of move speed, and he has Mobies, so you're just not gonna outrun him. Your positioning here is a little bit far up. You got to reset anyway. Okay, you're keeping rockets on here, which I like, but I think you're... Oh, okay, you healed. Oof. Yeah, that was just a really awkward fight to begin with. Then you got Big Gnar. With Gnar, you gotta just watch out for his Rage Sheen bar, like his passive. When it's about to fill up, he's gonna, turn big. And gotta watch out for that. But your Katarina got a Quadra kill, so sick. So you have Infinity Edge now, and you're going into Shiv, which is great. I anticipate that's what you'd be doing most games. That's what I build on Jinx. It seems to be the kind of standard build on her. So you got kind of wrecked in lane, but excuse me, your farm is quite good. Nice. You farmed quite well, and you got that tower with that small window of opportunity, which is really good. I would just say, in terms of matchups, like, just you gotta watch out for Blitz. You gotta understand the Blitz Jinx matchup in the sense that you have no escape, and he's just gonna try to pull you every opportunity. But I mean, you didn't get wrecked in lane, real. I mean, you did get wrecked, kind of, but like you didn't get denied farm, I should say, and that's because, like Ezreal just, early on he's just not the best combo with Blitzcrank. He can be, like, if it's a skilled Ezreal player, but he's just, not the best, to combo with Blitz's all in. Like Ezreal has good all in, just not like level 2. So you're going Last Whisper third, that's really good. You're just gonna split push here. Doesn't really matter what you do at this point, I don't think. Yeah, you just take this tower and then Blitz comes here. Okay, I like that you stayed in rocket form and you dodged there. That was really good, and now you're running away when Ezreal shows up. Pull the blue, meet up with your team. And that could be it for this game, I imagine. Even though your Jace is not here, I don't think it really matters. Yeah, so this probably would have been a different game if this wasn't patch 420 and you didn't have Warwick, but it is, so. I think if, it wasn't patch 420, like, Warwick wouldn't be, like, super fed. But you did farm so well that this game would have dragged out for another, like, 8 minutes, probably. And you still would have had a really good chance to win. You would have been in a good enough position where you could have, still won the game and dealt significant damage late game because you did farm so well. And that's partially due to Ezreal just not applying a lot of pressure by default as an ADC, and he seemed just kind of like an average or mediocre Ezreal player, so he didn't really do anything special. And in that case, you get free farm as Jinx. Jinx scales super duper well. It pretty much outscales Ezreal in every area except for like burst damage and escape. So yeah, that was a pretty good game. Pretty good example of some things you can go over in lane. Let's see what questions you had. You said, you hate Blitz. How do I manage to play against him? Well, actually, I know that. I just have to stay behind minions. Yeah, so, I mean, it sounds like... It's just like one of those things where it like sounds really simple, but there's no trick. You know what I mean? Like that... It's that simple. Like, there's no complicated concept behind it, but executing that and being diligent about constantly staying behind minions, that's what's hard. Like, executing that game plan. Like saying, okay, I just have to stay behind minions. Okay, great. So how do you do that and still be effective in lane? And you have to constantly just think, okay, I'm behind minions now, cool. But then when you step up to harass, you got to think, okay, now I got to go behind minions again. There's other fancy things you can do, like you can bait out blitz grabs and move laterally across the lane. you know, to force him to miss hooks, and then you can punish him, but you shouldn't really worry about that at this stage, at like the LO you're playing at. Like, you just need to stay behind minions 100% of the time. Because if he doesn't hook you, then that limits his play. Then he has to pop overdrive, run through the whole minion wave while you run backwards and drop traps and zap him and stuff like that. And that's a big advantage for you. It's frustrating for the Blitz player. So you got to stay behind minions and just constantly think, am I behind minions? Think, how can he grab me here? And if you're open to being grabbed, that's really bad, then you need to move. You got to be constantly thinking about that. Just like if you're against a Leona as Jinx. I mean, Leona's super good against Jinx too. If you're against a Leona, it's even harder than Blitz, because Leona's E can go through minions. She can just get on you. So it's way harder against Leona, I think, than Blitz. But Blitz, at least, you just have to stay behind minions. Leona's Zenith Blade goes through minions, and Solar Flare goes through minions, so it's way easier for her to initiate on you as the Jinx player. And you said you've made some mistakes in lane. How should you correct them? Also, how do you secure kills for yourself? So how do you correct them? Well, against Blitz, I mean, just, you know, again, we talked about it, staying behind minions. That's the main thing. In terms of the jungler, like, I would say that you just, you know, when your summoners were down, you didn't respect, the jungler's, like, threat range, right? So, like, Shyvana runs really fast, and you're Jinx, you're an immobile champion. I think I went over this in lane, but you got to think from the jungler's perspective and the Blitz player's perspective. They're going to be talking, and they're going to be like, hey, this Jinx is bot lane, and she's pushed up, her flash is down, let's get her. I mean, that's an easy kill. So you got to be thinking what they're thinking, right? Also, you got to think, hey, Shyvana runs really fast, so I need to, whatever distance you would create normally, you got to back up even further than that to not die. And you did a good job of warding. You gave yourself information, you just have to do more with that information. You have to put yourself in a position where you can do more with that information in a better time frame, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And then how do you secure kills for yourself? I mean, you just didn't have that much kill involvement because you died a lot, and like your team was always fighting. So I think this is a bad example game of that. But like, I wouldn't worry about getting kills. Like, you had so much farm, like, you were fine. Don't stress out about that. Like, don't worry about if you know, you don't have enough kill involvement. If your support gets the kills, whatever. Like, it doesn't really matter. You know, you don't, as an ADC especially, you can farm so fast. Like, you don't need a ton of kills every game. You'll be okay. And that's it for this one, yeah. So, thanks for watching, guys. If you hit the subscribe button above my head that's going to pop up, you'll get a new email every time a video comes out. Stay frosty.